Welcome to Mumbai se Manchester. My name is Nikhil, and this is the watch along where we're hoping to scout Pau Torres from Villarreal for Manchester United. Uh, Pau Torres has been linked with United, at least by the tabloids, for quite some time. Um, he is one of their main centre backs, and Villarreal today play Osasuna. Unfortunately, just looking at this lineup, it seems like Pau Torres is not going to start. They're going with a back three, and Pau Torres is on the bench, unfortunately for us. Hopefully, he does make an appearance maybe during the later half of the game, and we get to see him for the last 15-20 minutes. But I would say not the best game to really scout a player when he's not even starting the game. Um, yeah, they are starting with the back line of Mario Gasper, Raul Albiol, and Funes Mori. I think Funes Mori was at Everton. So yeah, they're going with a back three. I don't think they've gone with a back three in the past. Based on what I had seen, they play with a back four with Pau Torres on the left side and uh, Albiol on the right. Albiol is really old. Obviously, he's 35 years old, and but yeah, they seem like the uh, go-to pair for Villarreal. Um, just taking a look at rest of Villarreal squad, if there are any other players that we can really take a look at. Um, I see Etienne Capoue from Watford um, has moved to Villarreal. I'm not sure if he's on loan, but yeah, he's a central midfielder, but 32 years of age, so definitely not worth uh, even considering at the moment. Um, a few names um, in the starting lineup can so they have. I see Juan Foyth from Tottenham making a start today. Um, Not a whole lot of names that really pop up. Paco Alcacer, obviously the former Barcelona player, he is fairly old. And yeah, I know we are in for a attacker. He's 27. My bad. He's not that old. But yeah, he might be at a point where he's about to hit his peak. But yeah, he's currently at Villarreal. Um by the way, Pau Torres has been linked so heavily with us. So let's take a look at how Villarreal have been doing from a defensive standpoint. They have played a total of 29 games and they sit seventh in the league. They have conceded 31 goals, and in that process, they have lost five and drawn 13 matches. They have won only 11. Um, I wouldn't say the highest number of goals conceded, but yeah, even the bottom half teams, they seem to be conceding like goals in the early 30s. I'm not really sure what to make of their defense overall, like their unit as a whole. Is their midfield good enough, or there's a whole lot of burden on players like Pau Torres and Raul Albiol? It's not really known. So I was hoping we could see that in this game. Osasuna sit in the 14th place, 7 places behind Villarreal. Uh, they currently are barely above the relegation zone. So yeah, it would have been good to see some of the expansive play in case he has in his in his armory. Unfortunately, again, yeah, we won't be able to get to see him. Let me know what you think. If there are any other players you would want us to scout, because we would like to do more of this. Get to know uh, people's opinion as to, besides the names just being thrown away by tabloids and some journalists from time to time, obviously linking United with 1,000 other players out there without even um, without in sometimes even without logic. I would appreciate if the fans can share um, some of the names, which we can take a look at based on statistics. When I checked out Pau Torres statistically, he wasn't that bad. The important thing is, I guess, the reason for him being linked with United is he plays on the left side of that left centre back position, and I think there have been a lot of talks about how Maguire should actually switch to the right side. I don't know if it should happen, and that should be the way to go, given the way Maguire has played this season. Yeah, there have been some frustrating moments from time to time, but Maguire has been fairly good, I would say. Probably one of the top centre backs in the Premier League this season. Our problem has not been with Maguire primarily. Um, Obviously, some of the coordination work, but also a lot of issues with our CDM. So, yeah. Um, Given Pau Torres is not available to scout today, I was taking a look at some of the other matches that might be worth looking at. Um, so, in the Premier League, Burnley Newcastle is ongoing, and Burnley do have a player who I like in the centre back position, James Tarkowski. He is one name that I was hoping, if we were really going to sign a centre back, we would sign him on a cheap deal last summer. He is 28, he'll be 29 in November. So we have lost another year on the player. So it's difficult. I personally feel, yeah, maybe it's now a season too late, but it is still worth checking out how Tarkowski plays. He slots in uh, perfectly, I think. English player can partner Harry Maguire. The only drawback is Burnley primarily are not like are a defensive unit, so he would be getting a lot of support, unlike some of the unlike what what we want to do. So if Tarkowski is signed, I think he'll have to be that player who goes and plays and supports expansive football, because that is what we are aiming for. I wonder whether Tarkowski can do that. That's my biggest doubt. But when we check out stats, he is one of those players who wins aerial duels, one of the areas that we currently are not really strong at, especially with Lindelof. Uh, but again, Lindelof fans would be saying, "Did you see that pass to Rashford from the deep during the game against Granada?" But yeah, physical weakness is definitely an issue, right? Lindelof is not able to dominate and outmuscle like even medium-sized opponents from time to time. That is one area that he really needs to work on. So yeah, Tarkowski does tick some of those boxes, and during our summer transfer window discussion, I had mentioned Tarkowski, and you can check that video out for more details. But obviously, it will have stats from the year prior to this and some of the previous years. He did stack up very well compared to our own centre backs, actually, much better than our centre backs. So maybe for this stream, we'll go ahead and continue to watch Burnley versus Newcastle. Obviously, Newcastle not the best side, currently pretty much on the back foot. But Burnley are leading 1-0 at halftime. We'll keep an eye out on the Villarreal game and see if Pau Torres shows up. If he gets some time, hopefully, I'm really hoping, or just for the sake of the stream, I'm hoping he gets an opportunity sooner. Maybe because of a tactical issue, or maybe because of something on the lines of an injury, that he gets an opportunity so that we can check him out today. So, yeah. Um, The Burnley game is about to start. Hmm. So the Burnley game has kicked off. We are 5 minutes in, and yeah, Burnley had a couple of scares. Looks like Callum Wilson is coming back. He will be substituted in, and yeah, maybe some challenge for Tarkowski in the meanwhile. I really want to check out Sven Boatman. Unfortunately, Lille played a game. I think one of the games was on Friday, which I wasn't able to check out. Hopefully, I get to see him soon. He's a young, strong, talented footballer, and might be one to watch out for. I don't know how many teams are going to bank on him and take a risk during this difficult transfer period. Obviously, COVID is going to make an impact. So, financially, is what I mean. So, yeah, let's see. I think I do have one of the Burnley players playing for us as well. So, the West Ham versus Leicester game is the lineup has been announced, and they play. Looks like West Ham are, sorry, Leicester are going with back three of Fofana, Johnny Evans, and Amarte. With City having dropped 3 points yesterday, United do have two games in hand, and we are 14 points off. I know today's game is going to be tough, but it is going to be critical that we make the best use of this and at least show the intent to stay as close as possible to Manchester City. So it's a decently open game, I would say, the Burnley Newcastle game. It has not been like obviously the bottom half teams playing each other. There's bound to be some excitement, some kind of action. Nick Pope is not the goalkeeper today. Peacock Farrell is the one. I not noticed that in the 5 minutes or 10 minutes I've seen Burnley. Just taking a look at Tarkowski and giving like doing a fair assessment, right, on the player that we are watching here. Let's see how he has done in the past few seasons. So when it comes to Tarkowski, compared to say Maguire, for example, right? Let's say let's compare him to the past two seasons. Maguire and Tarkowski should have started fairly the same amount of games, I would say. There shouldn't be much difference. Obviously, one would want to compare a future centre back to the gold standard, Van Dijk. But Van Dijk obviously has been out for most of the season. So we'll keep him out of the equation now at the moment. Mm, Dwight McNeil being the influencer here. Oof, what a cross. What a cross. Kieran Clark clearing it. Clearing Clark. So yeah, talking about Tarkowski versus Maguire. Tarkowski has played 66 matches compared to Maguire 68 in the same time period. I'll directly dive into the defensive stats. Um, Firstly, yeah, taking a look at the passing stats, we know that Burnley are not going to be the one building up from the back. They're going to play a lot of long balls, to or even medium balls. They're not going to play short passes as such. Um, uh, they will play short passes, but yeah, obviously not as progressive passes compared to what say United's defender would do. Uh, So when it comes to long balls, Tarkowski has attempted like 690 passes and he completes 60, close to 60% compared to Maguire's 78%. So Maguire is doing very well when it comes to that long passing. He obviously trumps Tarkowski even when it comes to the medium range passes. Tarkowski has 82%, whereas the passing completion versus Maguire's 93. And obviously, when it comes to progressive passes, Tarkowski has 120 progressive passes versus Maguire's 183. So definitely better. Um, when it comes to defensive actions, let's take a look at um, aspects like successful pressures. I see successful pressures, Tarkowski uh, having that stat at 35%, whereas Maguire is at 36. So not that big of a difference in the scheme of things. When it comes to tackles and interceptions, it looks like Tarkowski attempts more tackles, 216, or more tackles. Hence, his tackles and interceptions are 216 versus 179 of Maguire. He does win 81 tackles out of the 132 he attempted compared to Maguire's 41 out of 69. So the stats show that when it comes to tackling, Maguire doesn't tackle that much. Obviously, given United play much more expansive football than Burnley, that is expected, right? You're comparing two different teams at like two teams at different ends of the spectrum in a way. So yeah, that's bound to happen. Oh ho 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 ho! Newcastle level up. Um, Man, Alan Saint Maximan providing the assist. Yeah, perfect placement. Nobody pressurizing Alan Saint Maxima, and I'm completely unsure of the scorer. I'm not sure who the player was. Oh, what a ball by McNeil! What a ball by McNeil! Man, a really sick ball. I think Burnley are now going to play. I'm going to attack as much as possible. Yeah, going kind of Yeah. When it comes to aerial duels, one of the areas where Lindelof is weak, and now to think of it, I should have compared Lindelof and Tarkowski. But yeah, aerial duels, Tarkowski does better than Maguire, 77.6%. Aerial duels won versus 75.2 for Harry Maguire. Let's do a comparison between Lindelof and Tarkowski. Lindelof. The Villarreal game is 22 minutes in. Obviously, as expected, no sign of Saint Maxima. Oh, what a ball. Well time pass. Vidra has had the options. Oh, McNeil is pretty good on the left wing. It's the defender. Blocked. Nice tackle. Oh, giving the ball away. Yep. So when we compare defensive stats of Lindelof and Tarkowski, um, Tarkowski definitely looks much better. Tackling wise, again, Tarkowski wins much, attempts more tackles as expected, and wins a good chunk of them. Um, the tackles won percentage, if you see, is um, he wins 27 out of the 48 tackles. That's for Lindelof, versus Tarkowski has won 81 out of the 132. Successful pressures, Tarkowski again leading 35% compared to Lindelof's 31. Um, when it comes to interceptions, um, Tarkowski has 84 interceptions compared to Lindelof's 53. Aerial duels. Aerial duels won Tarkowski again, as I said earlier, 77.6% versus Lindelof 65%, 66%. So definitely a big difference. Here, Saint Maxima is on a roll. Man, he looks like, oh, what a lovely goal. What a lovely goal. Uh, Beautiful goal. Beautiful goal. Saint Maximin is that one player. He gives me an impression like Nani. Um, a bit. He can he can be hot and cold, but when he's when he's hot, he's on a hot streak. He can be unplayable. Uh, yeah, this goal that he scored, Tarkowski neither bend me, neither of them knew what to do. He took Tarkowski completely out of the equation. Obviously, Maximan is one of the best dribblers out there. Not the easiest thing to do, but yeah, he did it with ease. And yeah, both Benmi and Tarkowski were out. They couldn't do much. Even the cameraman couldn't do much. I'm going to stick on here and see how rest of the Burnley game goes. Um, Newcastle, who were 1-0 down at halftime, are now 2-1 up thanks to Saint Maxima. The first goal he assisted, the second goal he has scored, like a beauty of a goal. So yeah, it would be good to see how rest of the game happens. Um, yeah, Almiron is down. So almost 72 minutes, and uh, Newcastle have the upper hand now. And with players like Callum Wilson, Saint Maximan, Almiron in the attack, Burnley are going to be vulnerable. Looks like Burnley might end up losing this game at the moment. They might get hit on the counter attack. Not sure if I had a Burnley player in my fantasy Premier League team. Oh yeah, I did. I very well did. I had Lowton, and unfortunately, with 2 goals down, is not going to provide me with much in terms of points. Oh, handball. McNeil. The shit FPL week it has been. Can Burnley salvage a point? I'm not really sure. Steve Bruce is going to ensure that his team goes as compact as possible and hit Burnley on the counter. Ooh, McNeil, almost Vidra, almost at the end of it. Eric Peters. Needs a good cross from Goodmanson. Not a whole lot of sting in that pass. Yeah. Just checking out uh, Ole's comment about the Tottenham game, which will kick off in approximately 3 hours. He does say that, of course, every player's pride is hurt by that result, the 6-1 loss. There was a big black dot on our season. We know that. And we know the reasons behind it. We had a lack of preseason, we didn't hit our form, and Anthony was unlucky to get a red card. Obviously, a lot of people know about how Lamela went down, but yeah, I would not disagree that Marshall was really stupid there. And Ole ends by saying that he has said enough about that. It's a big statement, obviously, going into a big game after a 6-1 humiliating loss, whether even if it was with 10 men for majority of the game. I think it is imperative that today the players show up, and Tottenham are not going to be easy. They are going to play with that defensive mindset of theirs, and they are good on the counter. Most of their goals are uh, are of that nature. So we'll have to be wary of that. Again, the first goal from Maximan or assist from Maximan, and yeah, Maximan gets the ball in the midfield, walks, runs towards Tarkowski, Ben Me, takes Tarkowski out of the equation, actually very easily out of the equation. Just wondering what do Maximan's Allen ASM stat looks like. If Newcastle go down, yeah, Maximum might be that one of the creative players we can afford easily. His injury is a big concern. His attitude is a big concern. I don't know if he might be the perfect signing when it comes to attitude. Definitely, when it comes to flair, he is the type of signing we should be going for. But there are other players out there as well. Newcastle trying to score their third goal. Oh, come on, Vedra. Oh, oh. Yeah. Nice keeping by Dubravka, palming it out, punching it out. uh, Burnley are struggling. They're definitely going to lose it from here. They don't have that final product like Newcastle had. And when I say Newcastle, Maxima, no one else. Poor by Shelby. Foul. Ooh, what a brilliant clearance by Tarkowski. Yeah, brilliant clearance from Tarkowski. Ah, come on. Play that through ball, Eric Peters. Went through, not off the line, but yeah, it was an interest. It was a really good clearance. Hmm. Last 30 seconds. Come on, Tarkowski. It's almost time up. Play it forward. You have to play it forward. Oof. Game over. Yep. Unfortunately, we could not get to watch Pau Torres. We did watch Tarkowski to some extent. He was completely beaten by Alan Saint Maxima for the winner. But he also made a brilliant clearance, pretty much close to the goal line. And yeah, not a whole lot to learn from this video, to be honest. Unfortunately, we couldn't watch Pau Torres. So yeah, thanks for whoever watches this. And if you do watch this, do make sure to like or comment or even subscribe.